Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Beware the sperm donor game. This is very key. Now, remember when I was doing reviews of Insecure and on the season finale of Insecure, there was that situation where Condola told Lawrence she was pregnant. Now, she's this 92 octane professional woman. Had some class to her. She wasn't some ratchet. Yet this woman who managed to go through a marriage and not get pregnant, and even I believe I gotta look at it again. I believe she said they had an abortion. Something. All of a sudden gets pregnant by this guy who got a lot going on. Now, on one level, there's that pregnancy trap game. And that's actually the first game I learned in life. My mother taught me that when I was 7. She said, if a woman really like you, she will purposely get pregnant to try to force you to marry her. And, especially back then, that was a big deal. And just as an aside, a lot of people look at relationships back in the day and thought they were all perfect. No, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Just have to be the one to tell you. You might think, grandma and grandpa were just getting along great back then or something, but you didn't actually meet them, did you? There's a lot of fantasy about that. A lot of things were forced back in the day, and that was one of the reasons. But the sperm donor game is kind of different. Now, you have two primary women who will engage in it. I'll get to the other one might shock some people. The second one, I'm going to get to that later. But the first one is professional women. Professional women, women who got money, got something going on. And sometimes it could be like a creative type or whatever it is. It's generally a woman who don't look like she'd be the type to just try to get a baby just to trap a man. In fact, she ain't trying to trap the man. She specifically wants the baby. She wants the sperm from a live source. Now, some other women, they'll actually get a sperm, actual, like go to a clinic or something and get the sperm. That's how deep it is, but they not married. See, a lot of times, a lot of stuff, when you get these single mothers out here, has a tendency to be a blame on the man. Oh, he ain't step up. He ain't do all that. Don't get caught up with you seeing those TV shows. There's a whole lot of women out there. They just want the baby, but not the man. And especially some professional women. She got a house. She got a car. She got money. But she got that drive, an inner drive, which the overwhelming majority of women have to have that baby, to pop out that baby. That's just how it is. Now, the woman, she'll probably be, in her 30s or something, biological clock ticking loudly. So what she'll do, she will generally find, in general, a good type of guy. Now, if she can find some alpha showpiece, which, a lot of women do get a baby with that real handsome dude or something, because, they feel like the baby will turn out looking good, right? They feel like the baby will turn out to look good. I mean, there's something I could say, but trust me, that would start a firestorm, and the day might come when I say it. Y'all know I don't go in on women on this channel, but I will point out some bullshit every now and then, right? But I ain't going to go into what I thought I was going to go into. But here's the thing. You'll find that they'll find a good looking man or somebody they think will make a good looking baby and, get pregnant by him. Here's the funny thing, though. Here's the funny thing. They might not tell that man. When it's a sperm donor game, they might not tell that man he got a child. Seriously, they might not tell him. Or if he, even if he runs into them years later and see the child and start looking at the child for him, he say, oh, no, that's, something like, let him know. And then there's other occasions where the father do know, but when the woman ain't in a big hurry to get married, and she might even do stuff that keep them apart. Sometimes they'll be cool with it, let the father into the life and everything, but they don't hit him up on child support or any of that. It's all about what the mother want to do. And in fact, that's why there are many cases where she might not even tell the man she's pregnant. And they'll go on and have that baby and just move on, particularly in the sperm donor thing. Now, those are professionals, right? And you'll find Or, and if somebody were to ask them or something, they might say, well, it's not, nowadays, it's not the same stigma that it once was. Back in the day, they would come up with a whole bunch of stuff. But now it's more like, oh, nobody even bothering about it. They got a baby, okay. And seriously, you'll see that when you run into a professional woman, they got that one child. It's boom. And in all fairness, they're good mothers. They're generally good mothers, almost too good of mothers. But that's another thing. So that's one, though. They purposely get that. Those like primary professional women, right? And then a second type guys got to be careful of is the femme part of a lesbian relationship. Because they still want kids. And I'm going to tell you what, when you see those like more, you can call them lipstick lesbians, more the femme type, the female side of the equation. A lot of times they can come on to a man and get his seed. Because, men ain't going to question anything. You got this fine woman coming on to them. And they'll be real quiet about their other relationship. And then, they'll have that baby. Get pregnant, have the baby, all of a sudden break up. And then the dude to find out, oh, she in a lesbian relationship. He might not know anything. And then that's one thing. But then there's some cases. And this is part of the shadow world. Let me be clear. I always talk about the shadow world. But it's more than just simply sex, to be honest with you. I just haven't got into like other parts. It's just some stuff that's not talked about publicly. But it's still happening. And then one part of it is you get some women, they'll find that fine guy and tell them straight up what the deal is. They'll say, look, they in a lesbian relationship, they want that child. They want that seed. And in some shadow world cases, they might even pay him for it. I think Spike Lee did a movie or something about that one time. I ain't see the movie. I can't remember the movie. Maybe somebody can point it out in the description. In the comments. But, you get a lot of like femme lesbians. They will get that, just to get that baby. And they cool with it. They go on, they got the family, And you'll see that in some cases. That's usually the case where it's, an all-female couple and they got some kids. And they just raised them, It's rare. It's a case, especially if they like, you see them, the baby's real young. Yeah, that's a strong possibility. And that's something I'm going to say beware it because a man needs to know where his seed goes. Now, I talk about sex a lot on this channel and stuff, but one thing men got to do is wrap that joint up. You got to wrap that joint up. And I know it's tough because I'm going to tell you, like I said, Ron wasn't perfect back in the day. And, Ron was not perfect. So, and let's just say I've had some scares. And, and even with that sperm donor thing, I actually had a couple women told me I'd make good babies with them. And make an offer. But, that's how I know some of this stuff. But that sperm donor game, beware, be careful, especially if you're a man who's really trying to build up something. Because, look, if you're going to have some babies or some children, you need to be in that child's life. That's your legacy. I don't care what you think about a woman. Once that child is here, that's your seed. That's your legacy. You got some responsibility for it. But like I say, you got some women out there, that's all they want from you. That's all they want. And especially in the case of pregnancy, I think at the last count, there's maybe 30 forms of birth control for women that they can use, plus Plan B, and, actual abortion. Even though, let me say this for the record, every time I mention abortion, I always mention personally, I'm pro-life. But the fact of the matter is women still got more options out there. So if they having a baby is extremely, extremely rare. It's just unplanned. So, they know something. So beware that game. Be careful of it. Try to get in with any man who's dealing with a woman. Try to get an idea about what's up with her and her intentions, her agenda. And that's just general dealing with women. Always try to have an idea of their intentions. Don't get too caught up. Oh yeah, she backing that thing up and everything. I know, a lot of guys don't want to think about it, but always try to like see her end game as best as possible. As best as possible. And try to get an idea about what she want to do. And, and at the very least, to try to avoid that as much as possible, regardless of how many birth controls that a woman have, you wrap your joint up. All right? Seriously, wrap your joint up. When you take that thing off, you flush it. You don't let her dispose of it. You flush it, because there's, especially like that gets into the overall pregnancy game. You got like women, shit, they want that baby, especially you got money and stuff. Shit, they'll take a turkey baster or something. You throw it away, say, oh yeah, I'll take care of it. Or don't let her hand you the protection. You bring your own protection. You put it on. Don't let her hand it to you. All right? So, anyway, I want y'all to think on that. I mean, there's some serious stuff. I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff, but there's always real life. This is just real life stuff, So, anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.